This third Inkscape tutorial, we're going to look at some of the cooler effects you can do using Inkscape. I'm not going to be making anything pretty to look at, but what I show you today, you should be able to apply to almost anything that you do in Inkscape. So what we'll do is we'll start off again with a rectangle. I will go for a darker blue color and we'll just draw it out there. And what I'm going to do now is draw another shape, this time a circle. And what I'm going to do is choose a contrasting color. Let's go into the reds and, oh, that's my mistake. And we're going to draw a red circle. There you go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the red circle on top of the blue rectangle. And using this, what I'm going to show you, let's double click our colors. What I'm going to show you is we've had a look at the colors. We haven't looked at this little thing called A, which stands for alpha. Now, alpha in computers means, is it see-through, transparent, or is it not? And if I just move the slider down, you can see that I can change the transparency of objects. Now, this works really well, again, in logos, in menus, and in buttons. So you could have an effect where you want the color of one thing to affect the color of another. So in this case, you can see that the transparent red mixes in with the blue behind it. It's a really, really useful technique to use. It gets quite boring just looking at squares, rectangles, and circles. Now, it could be that you need a very specific shape for a design. It could be a button or it could be a diagram that you're making. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my circle, I'm going to put it on top of my rectangle. I'm going to select both, like so. I'm going to go to path. What I'm going to do is use one of these little things here. Now, you can kind of work out what they mean, union, difference, intersection and stuff. For now, I'm just going to go to the one that says difference. And what that does is it cuts a shape out of another shape. Normally, the shape that's on top cuts itself out of the shape that's at the bottom. Now, this can be used for great advantage. So, for example, if you had a rectangle and you needed to make kind of a triangular hole in it, you could very simply, black arrow, you could very simply copy and paste the shape. Oh, you can see I'm transparent there. I'm going to shift this slightly like this. There's my triangle shape. And now I'm going to select both. And again, go to path and difference, and you can see that. And this is incredibly useful in making more complicated shapes. It saves you a huge amount of time. Now, while we're here, it might be useful to talk about this second selection tool, which is an Edit Paths button. If I click on that, you will see, actually, let me zoom in a little bit so you can see that more clearly. Now, normally when you click on the black arrow, all you can do is move a shape. When you click on the second button, which is the Edit Path button, what it lets you do is actually go in and change the way the shape looks just by grabbing these little corners and moving them around. Again, this is incredibly useful if you're making a precise shape and you need to fine tune that shape. So that's that second button, which is the Edit Path button. Let me go back to the black arrow and move this around a little bit. So you can see using this technique, you can really make some complicated shapes. Let's just do one or two more. So let's grab, I'm tired of that color. Let's go there and let's make it fully opaque. And let's grab a circle. And in this case, I'm going to make it, let's go for a mustard yellow. So what I'm going to do now is just take this shape and this shape, select them both, go back to path. This time let's do a union. And you can see that a union takes two shapes and creates one shape out of them. Again, incredibly useful. Now, I think what you guys should do is have an experiment over here and see what the others do. And that's where I'll leave you.